Welcome, welcome everyone to another fantastic episode of VPR Radio. I'm your girl Qianathegoddess here with the amazing, the incredible, and the very talented and handsome DJFMI. How you doing,
How's
partner?
everybody doing? How's everybody doing? And for myself, Kiana, I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like the heavens are shining upon me in my
Yes,
luck and my business endeavors for the last month or so, and I'm just riding the high and riding the wave.
I love it. You deserve it, partner. You really,
Yeah.
really, truly do. You've always been someone in this industry that I have had so much of a level of respect for. You know, your dignity as a man and as someone who just really works hard and pushes through. Like, you don't shit on anybody. You kind of stay to yourself. You've got your circle, but you do your thing, you stick and move, and no negative vibes. So, partner, you deserve all of those blessings. I'm happy to hear it.
Thank you, Key. Thank you, Key. And VPR, let's take some time out today to just absorb the stunning Kiana. Do you
Oh,
see the way she's becoming a VPR? I'm telling y'all, yo, one day I gotta go get done up before VPR just so I can be next to Kiana because she has been leveling up her goddess levels. It's hitting new peaks. I don't
thank
know.
you.
I don't know VPR. But on another note, I hate to start the show like this, but do you want to hear a fun fact, Kiana?
I always do.
Okay. So in the US right now, we have just surpassed 125 mass shootings.
Oh,
And I do have a map showing every place, but I'm not going to go into that. That's a lot of grief. Recently in Nashville, what happened with the school being just broken into, I would say, by a mad man, mad woman, whatever you want to classify it as.
yeah.
It's just not right. And just at that number, I just want to sit back, VPR, and just let that marinate. I want to sit back and let you think about 125 mass shooting in the year of 2023. And we are not done, VPR.
No, we're actually not even at the halfway point. And I think what's really sad is that statistically, it's the United States that leads that. You don't hear about a lot of other countries that have these sorts of situations. Now, of course, you have war-torn countries and countries that are at struggle and they have bombings and stuff at will, but that's expected, right? When it comes to like shootings, school shootings, open retail store shootings, this is happening at a tremendous rate in our country, and it's scary.
And just to think back a few years ago, to think that they were blaming shootings with guns on video games and things, different things like that. And some of it can come from that, but we have to understand that it's coming from other places too. Yeah, people, we're going to yell out mental health.
Yes.
We're going to yell out a few things, but what changes are we going to enact in order to save our children? And the fact in 2023, we have to have the conversation about what's right as far as protecting a life than just an object as a gun or AR.
Yeah.
That just baffles me every day, Kiana.
Yeah.
I can't start up a show, you know what I mean? And we have a show that we like to bring positive energy here at VPR
Yeah.
and things like that. But I feel it weighs on my spirit to not address it.
Absolutely. I mean, as a parent, of course, for me, it's like, it's insane that your children shouldn't be able to feel safe going to school, and not just like from bullying or other, but from going to school and getting shot by some random madman or mad woman that came in, and because they're angry, they wanted to take this out on the children. It's a real special place in hell. And I don't think of hell as like a place of torture. I just feel like, afterlife, your karma will come back to you. So for people that can even think that way, like, it's just something I can't understand. And you're absolutely right. Mental health, all of these things, and we can talk about it ad nauseum, but at what point do we actually have things in place that help? Right?
I'm sorry, but America is sick of hearing, thoughts and prayers. I am sick of hearing thoughts and prayers. I just recently had an event in Brooklyn College.
Yeah.
I had to do a photo booth for RTM, and I'm doing the photo booth, and it was during Ramadan, and I'm just watching, and I walked in that building 3 to 4 times without being ID'd. Then I came back to the building also with my cousin that he's going to help me break down. I had one other worker there. He's helping me. And we've yet to be ID'd again. During Ramadan, during the celebration. And that bothered me because I thought to myself, in the same week, VPR, look what happened in Nashville.
Right.
And yes, there were people at the desk sitting and watching us, but we weren't questioned.
That's right. And that's a problem, right? You shouldn't be there without the authority to be there. This is not the time for security to be lax in this country.
At all. You know, safety, you shouldn't have to think, VPR, of going to a movie theater or a mall and to think that you will be mowed down by an assault rifle.
Right.
That your lawmakers are afraid to ban. I understand people do not want to lose their guns, and I don't want to take them away from you. But I also don't want to get hit with 30 shots from afar.
Right.
Sorry, bro.
Right.
I can't get down with that.
Right. I think it all definitely starts with gun control, but it goes further than that, right? Because we've also got loose guns on the streets. But that's a separate conversation, because these school shootings, sadly, and these mass shootings, it's not coming from street guns, right? These were guns that were purchased legally, completely legally. So when we look at the legalization and the lax laws behind it, the fact that we can go and get a gun easier than we can get a driver's license.
Welcome to America.
That's a problem.
You know? It is.
Right?
It is.
We're going to test you and fail you and test you and this and that. You got to go back and forth when it comes to driving to make sure other people on the street. But with a gun, where you now have the capacity to take someone's life in your hands.
If you're having a bad day or if you're in a bad mood.
I mean, we're not even doing psych evals. Something has to change. The laws have to become more stringent. If you owning a gun, and I am all for the right to own a gun. Absolutely, right? But it's a responsibility, and it should be taken as such, and it shouldn't just be given out willy-nilly. The same responsibility that you have to drive a car is the same level of responsibility and checking and balancing that should be done with purchasing a damn gun, period. Whether it's an assault rifle or a small 38 or a Glock, I don't care what it is. There needs to be more stringent laws behind it.
Hopefully we see some change. You know, I could say that a lot. And guys, look for your officials, look for your public officials, and make sure you do your research into them. I'm not going to tell you who to look into, you know what I mean? But just do your research, because we need to enact change. People's children are being hurt, and I'm not for it. I can't be in a club and be thinking about my safety due to these guns that are on the street. So it's just something to think about, VPR.
Yeah.
Another topic that I wanted to touch on, because that last week we were not here, but a lot has happened. So, Qiana, how do you feel? Like, I really want to do a deep dive into this 6ix9ine situation. Just really looking at it, encapsulating all of it, just the saga of what happened periodically to get to this point where we are now.
Okay.
So, guys, if you haven't paid attention recently online, a video has surfaced of 6ix9ine. Multiple videos have surfaced from different angles of him getting pummeled, and he was swollen like he was Martin in the episode when he got beat up. He had all the lumps on him, and what happened was, I think he lives in Florida, in a certain part of Florida. He's been very comfortable there, and he pays a lot for security.
Yes,
but he got comfortable with, frequenting the gym. I heard that he went to that gym a lot.
Yeah,
and someone posted him, a female that was working out with her partner, posting, "Hey, 6ix9ine's here." That might have been what has caused the altercation to break out. But
it is, right?
so VPR, what tends to happen is, I would show the video here, but it's people fighting. I can't put that on YouTube. I don't want to, you know what I mean, I have that NG out. So 6ix9ine begins to go to the sauna. You see a gentleman sees him in there, goes outside, calls up his buddies. 2 buddies come through, walk straight through LA Fitness without being
again, no
ID'd again. Remember, no VPR, I'm pointing this out to y'all. I just really want y'all to watch our safety. I grew up in the hood, so understand. Moved out of it, but that's still in me. You know what I mean? But walked past with his 2 friends, proceeded to go to the sauna, and they begin to pummel Daniel. I think his last name's Hernandez. So Daniel, aka 6ix9ine. My thing is, now the internet is running around. Like, I see people laughing, smiling, and I'm like, yeah, he got what he deserved. And then I sit back and I'm just like, so we can sit back and champion people getting beat up online. Even I don't have sympathy for he's an antagonizer, VPR.
Yeah.
We understand that 6ix9ine is an antagonizer. He plays that instrument very well when it comes to doing that.
Yeah.
But I can't champion someone getting punched online by 3 men, oversized 3 men.
Yeah.
And laughing and saying, "Oh, it's cool," and sharing it and be like, "Yeah, like the world's right now." So if you woke up and you felt like you had some peace because 6ix9ine got beat up, you got some work to do in yourself.
I
I'm not
agree.
casting judgment, but you got
Yeah.
some work to do in yourself, man.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I think there's definitely two ends to the spectrum, right? And oddly, we spoke about this maybe a year ago, right? Like, remember when he came out of jail, and I was saying how the fact that he's going around antagonizing people, I remember specifically saying you better keep security with him at all times.
Security
Right?
is expensive, Key. You can't have it every day you go to the gym.
You better.
You
If you
wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
Antagonize people. We've talked about blurring those lines between what's entertainment
Talk
and
about it.
real. Okay, I never am, you know, for someone getting beat up, someone getting jumped, but I'm also never for someone stirring the pot and stirring the pot and stirring the pot.
100%.
If you're from the streets, then you understand the street code, and you know that it's a matter of time when you go around being braggadocious, talking against others, that there will be some sort of retaliation. I mean, if we're not seeing it enough in hip hop with these artists being killed, what will it take, right? Like,
And
let's just stop the bullshit already. You don't have to do this for entertainment.
I'm VPR. Me personally, I want to see our hip hop acts live past 35.
Right? Or 25.
Or 25. So I'm gonna sit there. If I have this platform here and I can maybe bring some positive news and just give a spin on it to just open your mind for the hour that I am here, I have to do that. It's my job. You know what I mean? But just to get back on the 6ix9ine situation, the individuals that beat him up, they were Latin King. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? They were repping for they set, and they felt like it was disrespected by him, whatever the case may be.
Because he reps Bloods, right?
He ain't repping nothing now. He ain't repping, but he's just still walking around with the same energy. You know, 6ix9ine, VPR, y'all know, you know what I'm saying? That New York suck my. And I feel like that also comes with a lot of the younger generation in hip hop. Like you said, we're blurring the lines between reality and real life when it comes to our music. We want our musicians to kill, and then we want them to be, you know, saints when they're working with Gatorade or something, you know?
Yeah. And I think that JD made such a great point on our last episode when we were talking about the difference between like entertainment and, you know, kind of what hip hop is a preponderant of, you know, violence and degrading women, and it goes on and on. But like, again, where does the responsibility fall, right, in having this music constantly pushed out to not just adults that know how to use discernment and just look at it as entertainment, but also these like moldable children. You know, it's so multifaceted, and there's so many angles to approach things. It's like, okay, yeah, we know artists they're not in charge of your children, right? Parents are in charge of the children, but there's so many levels of depth, and everybody kind of has to play their part to the vibration that we're putting into this world. Because the more negative vibrations, the more we're seeing all of this behind us and around us, the mass shootings as well, right? And the more fights and stuff that are shared on social media, the more that we're going to see that, the more that we're going to get that, because we're inviting that energy.
And that's why you're seeing such a big change with social media and these big platforms like TikTok, with the algorithm and what they're pushing out, and why you're seeing them in Congress being questioned. Hey, you have connections to the CCP. So are you leaking our information to the CCP if you're collecting all this information upon each user on your platform, TikTok? So they're getting this information, and, you know, of course, they're based in China. So I understand why America is having a thing saying to them and having a conversation at Congress saying, hey, is all of our data safe? Because you're with our competition. And this may be bad for business on our end. And if you're dumbing down our demographic or our people with your algorithm, putting fight videos, dance videos, but in China's version, it's more educational.
Absolutely.
What are we doing?
Now, one thing I can say, from what I've seen, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Instagram, Snapchat seems to be more of the platform that has more emphasis on the fighting and stuff. TikTok seems to be very stringent with their standards, and they will take your video down very quickly. When we go into questioning data, I completely agree, but why aren't we also questioning Meta and what they're doing with our data? We need to also question the American companies. So fluke that every time we're typing something on our phone and then we go into one of these platforms, what do we see? What we just looked up, right? on as an ad. That's part of the data. That's part of what they're taking, your search history, and they're integrating it into that soft mental advertising. I think we need to question all the platforms. All of them have our data and the apps.
And they're selling it. They're making money off of our data. What is this, bro? Like, I get it, but I don't.
From.
And it's just like, I always tell people nowadays, all right, you have 30 different accounts for stuff. You have passwords, different trails that you're leaving behind on each site that you're visiting.
Yep.
So once one of these sites get hacked, the same password that you use for like your other 2-3 social medias, you're about to get hacked, friend.
Yep.
And this is the information that the black market is selling online. All the passwords that you type in that they're phishing from other sites, they're selling all of that. These people are purchasing it, then using that to access all your accounts, therefore Facebook, therefore they could get into your chase. If you use that password for Facebook, you probably used it for your AOL, and you probably used that for your Instagram. And therefore I got all 3 accounts.
If in 2023, you're still using the same password across the spectrum, you need to step up.
Hey, everybody, and also just throw something out there. Put on your 2-factor authentication because your boy had to learn a few times. So
for y'all that lost his whole Facebook, it got shut down. Somebody hacked it.
And that's when I was with Convict Music, all the people I worked with over there when I was at A&R, all the people I met through the music industry and private events. So that was, you never appreciate the platform until you see, oh wow, all those 5,000 people that were contacting me for events constantly are gone because someone stole our account. Qiana, also what I want to touch on, I'm sick of this internet culture, VPR. Even though we on the internet, we cool. Fuck with us.
I know, right?
But
we're a favorite Libra duo. We're a whole different.
You see what I'm saying? We shine bright. But guys, this little war that we have with the subscription of blue checks needs to stop.
Oh God. Okay.
Let's discuss it, VPR, before we have our guests come in here and bring a whirlwind of this positive energy. But so I see a lot of people arguing online upon the blue checks, starting with Twitter. The legacy accounts on Twitter that have blue checks, businesses, artists, and different entities of that matter, have now are beginning to get stripped of their check. Because of course Elon Musk is now putting it to a subscription-based service where you can pay for your check just to verify who you are. Instagram is following suit and doing the same thing. I'm seeing so many people online now, Qiana, mad, just saying, oh, I had the check before this. Oh, you could tell who has a real check because they have their name in the bio. That's not the real check. That's the fake one that you have to pay for. I have the real one though.
I know. I've seen that conversation happening. I find it to be hilarious because I'm like, what else can you find to debate about? That's
more separation of giving them money. We're arguing about how much more money we're giving them and how much more of our time are we giving to these social media sites with these ticks.
That's right.
Saying, and I get why they're doing the verification process different on Instagram. It's due to the bots, and they need to verify that you are a human, you are an account of stature. You have 1 million bots on these Facebooks and different things like that that are hacking. So that blue check will then put you a step apart. So saying, all right, this person's real. Right.
It's nonsense. I think it's just more to be distracted by. And again, everyone is looking for the, like, I was here first, like the people that want to nominate themselves for awards or to be featured on, I wasn't in the top 5, right? Like we've been, this self-servingness, this attitude that has been in society now, it's like nobody owes you anything. You know that, right?
No one owes you anything. And just because you put yourself in front of a camera doesn't mean you deserve to be garnered for attention and for negativity. That's why I feel like it's anything for a click now and anything for a like. This to say that this rapper Boston Richie, he's a young rapper, and he just recently got accused of snitching like 2 months ago, and he's just been trying to prove that, hey, I'm not no snitch, even though the paperwork and either the people are like putting videos like, yo, you were in the thing telling, we released the video, we seen it saying anyway, this man gets on YouTube or any one of these Instagram accounts, and he actually records him breaking a law. And I'm going to put this on for VPR. So to prove that he's still street and he's still hood, he rather risk his freedom and put it online. I'm going to show y'all this, VPR.
Okay, let's
see. And you can't make this up. You can't make this up. 1 second right there. Wow. This is Boston Richie, guys. I'm not sure if you guys can see the screen. And Let me see if I can bring that right back up. View tab, and I'm gonna press play.
I pulled over in LA, boy. Ain't gonna lie. Let's see what they cracking on that cracking. I hear some fancy. He got record out here, but he cracking like kid out there. Look at his ass. He looking so serious. Man, oh, yeah. Oh, he's not that on there. Oh, we go.
Guys, VPR. See, this is exactly what I'm speaking about when it comes to like clout chasing and things like that. You seen this young man rather put his life at risk.
He really did, because he wasn't just putting his freedom at risk. Okay, we all know black men pulling off at a stop. You see how the cop.
You see, that's the first thing I noticed. VPR. You see the hand on the.
You see that hand on that gun? That hand is ready to draw the gun. It's dumb. It's so dumb. They could have just all been shot and killed just for pulling off for clout.
Just for Instagram. Just for Instagram.
Nonsense.
And that's where we're at now, man. It kills me to see young artists just do things like this now, and they think, and the people that enjoy this content would be like 14 to 13. And I get that they're loud online because they have multiple accounts and they have like their Reddit groups, but I can't advise no young man to be doing that.
Yeah, like, I agree with that, Stunner. All that money and no damn common sense.
And it seems to be happening a lot more lately, VPR.
Yeah, it's crazy. What's wrong with y'all?
I don't know.
You're living vibrational lives and you don't know any better because you surround yourself with a bunch of BS.
And it's like you already made it out the hood to have money just to run off on the boys like that.
That's what I'm saying.
And just do it. But that's neither. That's just where we at hip hop.
Smoking weed, it's legal out there. Like, what are you pulling off? Pay the damn ticket.
You already in a sports car too,
right?
Also, Kanye really, he continues to shock me, VP.
Okay, what happened now?
He continues to shock me. So he goes online to say, hey, yada, yada, yada. But I feel sorry for speaking against the Jews. I love Jonah Hill. I just finished watching 21 Jump Street. Jonah Hill, I love you. You're amazing. And I just said, you did not just do that. He's like, because I watched 21 Jump Street and I like Jonah Hill. Thank you, Jonah Hill. I was wrong. Yes.
Not the person, the human being, the character that you saw. Oh, Kanye.
You can't make it up. Kanye is, he's Kanye. That's the best thing I could say for that.
Right. And I think he's a perfect example of why we do not need to look at celebrities like the gods, right? Politicians or, the speakers for the human race or the speakers for one culture or ethnic group or representation of people, because they're not. Yeah.
One day he wakes up feeling this way.
Yep.
And then the next day he's right back chucking and driving. Yep. However he has to get by and do what he has to do. I can't knock the man, but couldn't be me. Yeah.
He definitely keeps himself notable and keeps himself relevant. I'll say that much.
Definitely. So, Qiana, let's talk a little bit about our guest today. I see that he has a book out on Amazon and he has a podcast also. So I can't wait to have him up. What is his ETA on entering? Because I had a few people who are waiting.
It should be any minute. I'm gonna let you speak and mute because this train's going by mad loud.
All good. VPR, make sure you check out all of our links on our Spotify and on our website if you want to catch into new music that we have on. Speaking about new music, I have a submission sent in from an artist that just released a video straight out of Staten Island. I'm going to be playing them right now for you live. So if you want to check out this new music, go and check out the link on YouTube. Here we go. Let me mute this mic for you guys so you can get a few clips and you can just hear the top. Shots to the back, nigga, ain't no really running like the freak. Go get him then. Go get your phone. New music submission from Pop 2 Saucy out of Staten Island, 240 OENT. Oh, what's up, bro? So that's a fucking for real? Yo,
Fuck you know you going on the right, nigga. Don't you want up here? Wanna die? Want to win the Tom game? You got to say my fault? What's up? What's up, bro? What's up? What's up? What's up, bro?
Bow, 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 bow. Nothing. Yeah. 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 Hold on. It's 2-4 to the 6 zone. We still EBK. Can't come to the hood if you found out you ratting on your case. Shots to the back, nigga. Ain't no really running like he's Ricky. Drink Henny by the 50, and I just ran up a 50. Come on, bitch, fucking me just like you miss me.
And VPR, you know what I want to say also? New York and black culture is the only culture I know that could make a gas station look fun with dancing and turning up and playing a Black Spider-Man. And this is what
or a bodega, right? We'll turn up anywhere and turn that into a whole situation. You are absolutely right. The mall, anything.
So shout out to Patu Saucy and his boys for sending over that clip. I definitely like that y'all had the hood Spidey in there. He's very viral on YouTube. That was a very good ploy. Okay. See, shout out to all the artists that are doing their homework, that are bringing in other entities that can bring new eyes onto your project. I always stress that so much. Speaking about that, April 19th, VPR will be in the building on 105.1 Hot 97 Indie Jams on the radar for the new Hit the BENT showcase. So if you are interested in performing and having a sit down with the labels, winning $5,000, having an interview with VPR and more,
okay,
tune in April 19th. Hit the BENT. Go on our Instagram page and you will see it.
April 19th, y'all. All right. I see that our guest has stepped in the building. This is his second appearance on the show. We're not going to do a long intro. He's an artist. He's an author, podcast host. We're going to bring Mr. Jamarius Leapheart to the show. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are y'all?
We are
really good. Really good. I can't complain, fam.
Good to see you again.
Good to see y'all. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's what's up. So tell us everything that you've been up to, because so much has pivoted since we've had you on the show. Now you've got your own podcast. Tell us what's going on.
There's so much. I think one thing that I always tell people is that when I start thinking on something too much, I gotta go and do it. And so since the last time I've talked to you guys, there's so much that I've experienced, and I'm like, I want to talk about this, so I want to give my opinion on this, and so now I have my book out and my podcast, Turk Talks. That's where I tell all of what I'm thinking.
Okay, so give us an idea. Partner, you're muted. Give us an idea of what, like, the premise of your thought process is behind your podcast. Is it kind of like, are you ranting about what makes you frustrated? I know you've done kind of like your thoughts of the day, or kind of getting people's feedback, but like, what's your approach?
One thing that I do is I always say, what can people learn from whatever I'm talking about? If I don't feel anybody can learn from it, I'm not talking about it, because I think it's just pointless to say something that, people really can't grasp or take hold of and actually utilize it for their life. And so I tell people, all of my guests, or even myself, sometimes I tell myself, what can you say? What are you going to say that is going to make, one, the culture look at you as someone who knows what you're talking about? Because I think we got a lot of people, especially in the podcast arena, who really don't know what they're talking about. They just, like you say, they just rant a lot. And so I say, I want to rant, but I want to rant with knowledge. I want to rant with some intelligence. Let me rant with the culture. And so Turk Talks is kind of like a culture show where I talk about everything in the culture and just put some education on it, some wisdom on it.
No, I definitely could dig that. We feel very similar here with VPR, just with a positive message for having, I guess. If you don't have a positive message, there's no reason for you to be up on our platform. So I see on Amazon you have a book out right now, and it's named "Success is the Only Part of My Story. Life isn't always a fairy tale." Tell me a little bit about that book.
That book was my first. That was my baby. When I wrote that book, I just literally got out of the hospital. I had a abscess on my tonsil, and it almost had my airway closed. And so I said, it's something I was supposed to get out of that? What was I supposed to do? And it was like a book just started coming out. So I started researching like, well, how can I go about doing it? I've never written a book before, never knew anybody who written a book before. So I'm like, okay, how can I go about doing this? So I started researching, and that's when I started saying, well, if I can do this, I know there's so much more.
And this one question, how old were you when you were doing this research? Like, how old were you when you were putting out your first book? I just got to know that also.
That was 2021. I was 19. Yeah, I was 19.
I love that. Yeah.
That's dope. All right.
I appreciate that. And that's the reaction everybody gets. And one thing that I tell people is I grew up around my grandparents. I got an old soul. So some of the wisdom that they taught me, that they instilled in me, I just grew up in. Let me help somebody else with this. You know, I learned this and I walked through it or I went through it. So let me just help somebody else with this. So I wrote it, I put it in the book. And after I did the first book, so many people, they loved it. And I'm like, whoa, I can actually make people read what I want, you know, what I'm thinking. And so I said the second book, I wanted it to be like a book where people know, like, my heart. People know exactly what I'm feeling, because the first book was kind of like an introduction. So the second book, which is now on Barnes and Noble, I really wanted it to just be, I got something to say. I want you to hear everything that my heart is saying. And so, yeah.
Great. So what was the inspiration when I know you got out of the hospital, but where was the moment where you were like, were you thinking to yourself? Were you reading something? Were you like having a conversation? You were like, you know what? I need to write this down and people should read it. What was that aha moment for you?
I was watching Bishop T.D. Jakes, and I was watching a sermon, and he was talking about basically whatever you are going through, everything has a purpose. You cannot get upset with God. You cannot get, or whatever you believe, the universe, God. You can't get upset with God because of what's happening. You just got to take it, use it to strengthen your faith, strengthen your belief, and you know, execute what you are birthing out of your pain. So I said, I have to do something. So I started jotting down my ideas about, you know, I just got out of college. I'm in the hospital, just got out of the hospital. So I'm like, okay, let me just jot down all of the stuff I'm thinking, all of the stuff I'm feeling. I started jotting it down. And I remember when my aunt got arrested, so she used to literally take me to the school, because she used to be a school teacher. And she used to teach little babies. And she used to take me to the schoolhouse, and I would decorate the walls for her. And I remember putting, like I was decorating the walls at the school, I remember putting my thoughts on the walls, just decorating them, putting like little wisdom nuggets she used to tell me, writing them down on the wall. And I said, I have to put this in the book. So I just started typing it all out. And that was it.
And the reason I ask that is because I think it's those types of moments, right, in our lives, and FMI, I'm sure for you as well, where things sometimes, like, you have an idea or a thought and it just clicks, and you can either miss it, right, and you can be like, nah, that I've never done that before, that doesn't make any sense. Or you can be like, you know what, I feel like this is a sign, let me break through the fear in this and push forward. That's why I asked, like, what was that little pivotal moment? It's great.
Also, for me, those moments happen when I'll be driving and I'll just get inspiration. I DJ, so I'll hear a song and I'm like, oh, this song sounds perfect. I need to remix this and put this out online. So I definitely get that. And when you have to stop and like write it down so you don't forget it, because you will forget it. As a creator, we have a million thoughts. As entrepreneurs, we have a million thoughts a day, a second, a minute. We don't just put it down. So I definitely understand.
And now, I'm glad you said that, because I'm actually getting like my studio together, because my podcast room is going to actually be my studio, because I sing a little bit as well. And I am just now learning about putting together like music, putting together a song. And it's like you have to jot down every rhyme, every rhythm, because if you don't, you'll miss it.
Yeah, it'll flow in and it'll flow out. You get those inspirations driving. I do as well, but I also get many of mine like in the shower, or when I'm by the water, or like outside, you know, on the beach or walking. I'll be like, Oh, and then ding, 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 ding.
Come
Follow
back.
the light that guides you, right?
Yeah.
So, Jamarius, just to ask you another question. You seem to have a creative spirit, right? How do you detox from your day? How do you still write while going through life's situations?
Ooh. I turn it into a story. Like right now, I have a whole screenplay that I've written of a bad day that I had. Some days I just turn stuff into a story, you know?
Yeah, you see, VPR, the thing about being a creator, the same way I would view music and I would maybe go write a song, he turned it into a story. If we view it through the same lens, but we'll go a different route with it. And that is fire. I never thought about that.
I love that. And that's why I tell people all the time too, right? Like as a creative or entrepreneur, whatever it is, even if you guys have the same idea, the execution is going to be so different. So don't be afraid to just take your idea and run with it. Don't worry about what someone else has done before. Don't compare yourself, because that's the beginning of your downfall, right? I love that. A bad day into a story. We've all had a bad day, and that shit becomes a story because we retell it to people.
That's it. That's all.
Get a bag off the bad day. That's what I ain't gonna argue that. Get a bag off the bad day, bro.
That's the best way to do it, man.
Yeah. So you've been opening up about your singing. I know you're experimenting into that now. What's that process like for you? Who inspires you? Let's go down that route.
I have a whole wall. I wish I could flip the camera. I have a whole wall of singers on the wall. I have Whitney Houston, James Brown, Michael Jackson, Prince, Fantasia, everybody. I love good music. Like I said, I got an old soul, so I grew up on like gospel music and R&B singers who really should have been gospel music, you know? And so I just love good music. And so sometimes now I'm listening to music, getting inspiration, getting words, getting rhymes, and I just start singing. Get my microphone, I just start singing and writing.
If you could identify your sound, what would you say that it is?
I'm a country boy who just loves music. That's it. I'm a country boy who loves music.
That's the name of an album.
It really is. It really is. That's fly.
Or another book, right? Like that's definitely titled.
Oh yeah.
All right. So, what are some new projects that you're working on right now?
Right now, I'm just really just basking in what I've already created. You know, going through that experience of just being able to embellish all of the stuff that I've already done. You know, because I always tell myself I'm 20 years old. Calm down. You know, I don't have to rush it. Even though people say I'm supposed to, I don't have to rush it. I can slowly do it. And so now the book and music and like I said, the screenplays are what I'm really into now. So I'm just writing my life out.
You have so much wisdom. You know, I love how you pointed out that you're only 20 and people are telling you what you should be doing. Yeah. In our 30s and in our 40s, we still kind of find ourselves sometimes floating in the wind, going for what we want versus what people tell us, or the pace we're at versus where people tell us that we should be, right? So that's such a knowledgeable and impactful thing to say, because you know, perfection, all of these things, that success, it takes time. If you get it overnight, you're likely to lose it overnight.
So
take
true.
your time, perfect your craft, and then just keep building from there.
Yeah.
So earlier, before you joined our live, we were just having a conversation upon the social media and this new thing where people are arguing about badges now.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen it?
I have.
So I just want to ask you, how do you feel about that whole situation? You know, I know it's just something in passing, but
I really truthfully, I think that it's a good idea. I feel that if you have a business, or if you are someone who has some type of we are content creators, we create. I feel that will definitely help people see you. The badge now has, nowadays in society, if you have a blue badge, you mean somebody. You somebody. But I do think that it should be more than just you can just pay for one. I think it has to be like some stipulations on what it is, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Qiana, I'll be a little bit tight if I see Tyrone from the Fifth Floor. I just buy a cheese sandwich with the Instagram badge. What he famous for? I just eat cheese sandwiches, bro.
And that's how
Yeah.
easy it is now, right, to purchase that blue check.
Right.
But I think it again comes with that chasing validity, right? If you're chasing validity, then you're really going to be stuck on that. Like if the badge comes, it comes. But like, again, I feel like it's these things that are around us that then make it like, now I've got to scrutinize myself. Well, they got a badge, but I didn't get a badge, or they got more views and I didn't get, right? Focus on you and don't worry about all that shit that's going on around you, because you're creating your own world, and that needs to be where your tunnel vision is. So that whole like blue check shit,
That's true. That's true.
As content creators, like, you know, I know you probably are. You're on YouTube heavily, and you do a lot of reels. So I know you could pay attention to what works in the algorithm, or what doesn't work, or what gets you more eyes and clicks. You'll notice the subtle changes. Yeah. What content like that stands out for you on your page? What subjects or what topics do people in your base like to tap into?
People love when you are being transparent. I don't know. I think whether they want to be nosy or in your business, people just love when you are transparent. And so sometimes I just tell people today was not my day. But what I learned in this day was, let me help you. You know, what I learned, let me help you out. Because maybe if I know I needed it, I know somebody else may need it. So sometimes I'll just be like, today I slept all day long. I didn't move out my bed, you know. I just binge watched everything because I didn't have no motivation, and I'm pretty sure somebody else felt that way. And so when people see that you can be not perfect, not trying to be somebody you're not, like you just you, people love that.
I think
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah,
that's why reality. Yeah, and that's why reality TV has become so big, right? People like to see not just the personification of who you are, but like the dirty, nitty gritty, you know, let me see how you wake up in the morning. Dirty dishes in the sink type vibes.
You seen recently how when Blueface was posting the laundry for Krishan, like stuff like that. I'm just like, you know what, it's whatever, man. Yeah, anything is content for people these days.
Is content, partner.
But hey, it's real life though. You can't knock people for real life will always sell.
Yeah.
So another question for you: what's one thing most people misunderstand about you?
They think because I have an old soul that I'm not still young.
And where do you hear that? Where do you hear that sentiment from?
So many people, because one thing that everybody always has these conversations, and it's always based. Like, I'm glad that you guys had this upbeat conversation, because most people, they just want to ask just the surface questions. Because I think that everybody feels that, you know, I don't want to really talk about social media. I do. Yeah. I love all of this stuff. Yeah. And so I love when people just think that I'm just this young person who just got a lot of wisdom. That's it. Right. I still love to have fun. I still love to, you know, kick it. Let's do it.
Hey, nothing wrong with being an old soul. You're gonna live forever. That's what I say. You know what I'm saying? Being wise before your time is a thing. So
it can help you a lot. It helps a lot.
And you could probably walk in a room of different calibers of people and have a conversation with everyone. That's the key. Where I tell a lot of people.
You can. It's just like being street smart and book smart, right? It offers you a whole new level of being able to interact with different types of people. So tell me, I know that you are learning and you're going and you're growing. Have you mapped out, like, this is my 1-year plan, this is my 3-year plan, this is my 5-year plan? Are you just kind of flowing with where the universe takes you as you go through this beautiful journey of creativity?
I have like I have a basis, but I don't have a definite thing, because I'm the type of person, I may wake up today and say, oh, I want to move to California, you know? And if I set my mind on it too much, I may be in California next time we talk. So I'm that type of person. And so I just say, you know, whatever I feel makes me happy at this time, that's what I'm going to do. And so I'm just doing both, kind of. I think if that is a thing, I don't know if that's a thing, but I'm kind of doing both, just flowing with the wind, but having like a little plan of where I want to go.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a thing, right? It doesn't all have to be so concrete. And I think you always have to create room to pivot. And I think, if anything, we all learned that during COVID, right? So many people lives became directly impacted. And if you did not have that ability to pivot into doing something else, shit.
Yeah.
Hey, Kiana, I was thinking about that the other day when I was driving. I was just like, yo, when I went into COVID, I was scared shitless VPR.
Man.
Clubs were closed, bro. Clubs
Everything.
were closed, lounges, nobody celebrating a birthday. I am a DJ, I own an entertainment company. How am I gonna work?
Exactly.
I was just like, my hands work for me. What am I gonna do?
Nobody.
Same. All my clients, no one's working, right? So people that have side businesses, they've stopped focusing on their side businesses. They pay me to help them create and run their side business effectively, and now they can't do it, or they're like, well, now I've got time at home, so I'll learn how to do what you do.
That's it.
COVID made entrepreneurs, whether you liked it or not. You used to go down the block, get your hair cut, your taxes done, all that shit.
But you know, the crazy part is, though, for me, I think I was in the t-shirt business then. And it was like that business was flourishing. Everybody wanted a t-shirt for something.
Because they were home, party, they had nothing to do but buy shit. Okay. And they were like, I want to see that on a t-shirt and wear it on my next Zoom.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. That's all they wanted. Some t-shirts for Zoom. And then some people would call me and say, well, can you teach me how to use it? Because everybody was buying a Cricket. Everybody wanted to start a t-shirt business. I was like, yes, I sure can.
Yeah, one of my exes bought that too, so I know.
that was a great way to flourish. But I agree, though, that and lashes, and bundles. Okay, the girls that shout out to the girls that went from being, you know, strippers where the club was closed to selling the lashes. Because they did it. They did it. They were like, well, I know what'll get you while you're home on Zoom.
Okay.
You want that hair done, right?
I hate COVID, but shout out to COVID for making us better businessmen and women.
For making us better hustlers in the game.
That's so fact. I came out there, I learned how to do flyers. I learned how to do video editing, even better, photography.
Same.
And but
I never even knew video editing.
I see you be holding it down, kid. VPR, when you see some of these videos, Kiana be holding it down now.
Thank you, partner. Thank you.
I know you're still fresh into your music career and you're getting ready to begin that journey. So tell me a few artists that you wouldn't mind working with, old or new, because I feel like your career is going to head there. You know, with your energy, it's going to come your way.
Masego. Oh, Masego. Masego.
We have not heard anyone say that
ever in VPR history, and I bumped them. I'm just like,
you're one of a kind, bro.
Masego, like the new album just bumps. I have to listen to the new album just sometimes just to listen to it. But Masego is definitely one, and Fantasia. I want to get that soulful.
Bring Fantasia back to like, hey, I hear Fantasia in a minute. Every weekend I spin it though during my R&B set. That when I see you, everybody
that, and if you don't want me, then don't talk to me. She be screaming. Go ahead and
hey, them early 2000 female R&B songs, they was really truthfully telling you how they feel. I should have cheated.
Cole, Vivian Green, everybody was to Jasmine, like they were busting windows out the car, like nobody was playing with anybody.
You should have. Hey, Kelly Price came and you should have told her.
Facts.
They was not playing. They was not playing.
They were tired of best friends cheating and all of that shit.
Great music, VPR. When Ashanti was letting it, you felt that when she was singing. This is what I'm trying to get back in our music industry. Not to say that we don't have it, but it's not the music that's pushed to the forefront. That's why I'm happy when I see SZA up there leading the charts on Billboard. I'm like, yes, because she's speaking her emotion, and hopefully when you get to that point, I want to see them features.
Come on.
I'm looking forward to the feature.
Come on, bro. I appreciate that, for real.
Of course, man. So before we, wrap up the show a little bit, tell us some of the new things that you have in your mind that you want to start working towards. Where can we find you on our socials? Because we definitely have to have you back with a longer time. Because this is energy.
I love it, man. Well, right now, like I said, just be on the lookout for some new music. It may not be soon. It may be soon, but just be on the lookout for some new music. Because I do think I want to tap into all of my talents this year. Because I think when we allow one talent to lay dormant, then it kind of like, it can get you out of alignment with your purpose. Because that one talent you're laying dormant may be the talent that'll propel you. So I'm just getting into all of my talents this year.
You better say that again, boy.
Yeah, for real. I'm learning so much, man. I'm learning so much, and so I'm excited. I'm just happy to be able to tell people and spread this message to everybody. Also, you can find me on Instagram at Jamarius Leapheart Official. No, I am Jamarius Leapheart, something like that. Y'all, I don't really be on my social medias like that, but I think it's I am Jamarius.
I think it's the I am Jamarius Leapheart. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then you can follow me on Facebook at Jamarius Yeah.
VPR, this is why we love doing what we do every Thursday. When we have guests like this, where it just feels like we're having a casual conversation. The time flew by. I'm looking at the time like, God damn.
It sure did, partner.
Right,
I had a few things to ask. I'm just like, man, it's looking here.
Come on, it sure did.
Partner. Ooh, you had me like,
No, man. He's a talented individual in front of me, and he took his time out to join us on the show today. So I thank you, Jamarius. And I'm looking forward to just seeing all the things that you're doing in your career. I'm already looking at your write-up right now as we speak, and I was going to speak about that next. You were featured in a magazine, but we'll save that for next episode, VPR. Key, you have any words to say before we let our guests get out of here?
For sure. I just definitely want to congratulate you on your success. We have loved having you here. Definitely welcome to have you back. And we like to leave our show with some final thoughts of love. That is a center. Shout out to JD Mass and the entire crew who have helped us with adopting this whole principle and bringing that into the show. So when it comes to love, what would you like your final thought to be for our audience?
Love is everything, man. And we need love in every arena. And I believe that once we start spewing love the way that we spew hate, oh man, every arena will look different. Music, hair, every arena, every industry would just look different if we just started loving each other and supporting each other more. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean,
VPR, that. Like that, VPR, yeah, like that.
From the beautiful brain of a 20-year-old country boy that loves music.
That's it.
And you heard it here first. And let everyone know when they can catch your show live as well before we go.
So you can catch Turk Talks every Monday night at 5:30 p.m.
Hey, when you going to invite me and Qiana as a guest?
Come on, we gotta get y'all on now.
Oh, all right, cool.
Oh, yeah.
I'll definitely look forward to that.
Oh yeah, I got y'all.
Perfect. So we'll talk to you soon, and thank you again. Fantastic.
I appreciate y'all so much.
Hey man,
we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Ciao. Oh man, that was so great, partner.
Yeah, VPR. It just felt like Qiana said, "Partner, are you ready?" Press play, and now we're done. I was just like, "Yeah, Qiana, I'm feeling as jubilant as always. I'm feeling positive." And I just want all this energy that I'm feeling to come through this screen. And hopefully you can just take that into your day. Please, shout out to Brian Moore. Shout out to everyone, Jerron Bell, everyone that's tuning in from everywhere across our socials. Thank you. And we will definitely see you next Thursday. Qiana, do you have any final words?
Yeah, no, I'm just going to end like Jamarius. Just let that love shine through, right? More love, less hate, you guys. So we appreciate you for being here. Partner, you're the best. And we'll see you next week, guys. Bye.
Boom.